What's up, good people? Welcome back to another episode of Undrafted Views. We're here. We talk sports from the sidelines. And today we're going to answer the question, are the Suns a threat to the Warriors? Let's get into it.
The Phoenix Suns are riding a 16-game winning streak with a record of 17-3 and coming up very close to the Golden State Warriors. Should the Warriors be concerned about the Suns?
Yes, I say yes. If I think about their standing in the Western Conference, we're talking about what 0.5 game difference between the Suns being number one. And if I think about how they play, I almost feel, and I probably could be stretching it some, that the Suns and the Warriors, the way they manage the game is similar in a
Mm-hmm.
sense. And when I look at their players on their roster, I'm almost like they're a little bit interchangeable with some slight differences. So I'm saying if the Warriors think they're going to hold on to a number one spot and not have anybody threaten their positioning, they got another thing coming because the Suns are they knocking it out the park. They are shaking up the Western Conference, especially when we're talking about the Warriors being as dominant as they are right now. Anytime you have a team that's
Mm-hmm.
like 0.5 games behind you, you should be worried. Yes, absolutely. What I do believe, though, however, is that they'll flip flop between 1 and 2 throughout the whole regular season based on how they're playing today. And I do believe that the Warriors and the Suns will find themselves in a matchup in the postseason. I believe that in some way. Now, I don't know if that's round three semifinals. I don't know, but they're going to find themselves in a matchup. And I think the true test of how successful they have been this season and their roster construction altogether will be based on whoever comes out of that 7 game series. But yes, right now, the Warriors should be concerned. And if they're not trying to plan a game plan against the Suns to make sure that they maintain
Mm-hmm.
the top spot, then they're going to be number two.
In for a rude awakening. Okay.
Yes.
I don't have Golden State being threatened by the Phoenix Suns, and here's why. Golden State is playing without Klay Thompson and James Wiseman. They sent two of their draft picks, Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody, who are solid to the G League. I don't see it because Klay Thompson, when he comes back, which is just around the corner, he's going to take their game to another level, which means the Golden State Warriors will be even deeper. Right now, I see Steve Kerr playing 1 through 15 on his roster. I cannot say the same thing for Monty Williams and the Phoenix Suns. The Golden State Warriors are deep, and need I remind you, they have championship DNA.
I
The
agree.
Phoenix Suns don't have that.
I agree. I agree with that to a certain extent. Yes, one of the things that I know the Warriors have that's what is it, an ace in the hole is Klay Thompson. I agree with that. However, Klay Thompson has not played in 2 seasons. Now, if Klay Thompson comes back at least 80% of himself, he hasn't played in 2 seasons, let's be honest. And when he
Mm-hmm.
played 2 seasons ago, the pace of the game, in my opinion, it seems a little bit faster. He got to get back acclimated on how he plays. Practice basketball and playing in the game basketball, from my understanding, is two different things. So yes, he may be shooting lights out in practice, and yes, he may be physically, he may be mentally ready for the game. I think physically, though, it's going to take him some time. And if that time, and I believe he's going to get the time, I trust that the Golden State Warriors organization will allow Klay Thompson to come in and ease his way into regular playing positioning. I believe that. However, it can still be Klay Thompson, although we are anticipating his return, because I am as well. And I think that is one of the things that the Warriors have above the Suns, because what do the Suns have waiting right now?
Yeah,
Nobody,
right.
right? However, I don't. It will all depend on how Klay Thompson comes back, right? We anticipate he comes back, but if he doesn't come back at least 80%, then it's almost like he might as well stay away, right?
Uh-huh.
I also do not concern myself with James Wiseman. Here's why.
Oh.
James Wiseman is a rookie, yes, but James Wiseman has not completed a full season. This will be his second season with the league.
Mm-hmm.
He is still new to the professional basketball arena. He has not been able to really fully engulf himself in what the Warrior scheme is today. It's going to take him some adjustment. I know that Kevon Looney cannot hold it out all by himself. I get they need James Wiseman.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
don't know if James Wiseman this season will be as effective when we're talking about a successful postseason run than what Kevon
Mhm.
Looney can give them. Another thing that the Suns may struggle with is that the Warriors are able to use other players as stretch fives. And so they have a scheme and a system that is a little bit unstructured, if you will. And so Steve Kerr has a bevy of players and bevy of roles that he can put people in that the Suns may not have. But the Suns have a solid enough roster and a solid enough rotation, and their ball movement is amazing that I believe that they can still compete. And so I don't want the Warriors can become someone who don't think they are a threat and they just got it all under control. But the Suns can come in and take their spot because they also equally play very well. I think the Warriors should be concerned about the Suns. I don't know how else to
Okay.
put it.
Well, check it out though. The Golden State Warriors have already beat a lot of the big dogs already. Okay. I would say the Phoenix Suns had an easier schedule to start the season. It's probably a benefit of making it to the NBA Finals last season. The Warriors already beat the Lakers, Clippers, Chicago, um, Brooklyn, and the Philadelphia 76ers. I
Mhm.
mean, who have the Phoenix Suns beat?
They'd be Brooklyn. If you're gonna put Brooklyn on the list, that means if you're gonna keep Brooklyn on the list, that means that the Suns would have had to lose to Brooklyn, and they did not. If
Okay.
anybody watched that game, so for me, Brooklyn is this Brooklyn. I don't even know if I can even say that they
Right.
are somebody that any team should be threatened against. This Brooklyn at this stage of the season, what 2021 games in, I don't know what this Brooklyn team is like. So although they may be top of the Eastern Conference, I'm just not impressed with their play overall. Once you see what the Suns can do against these other teams, it's gonna flip flop, right? So the Warriors had those teams early. The Suns get them later. What? They
Yeah,
gonna
but
stop
that
playing?
determines their record though. If you had an easier season to start, sure, you should be 1-2 in the Western Conference. The Warriors been battling it out with some of the big dogs. Now, Draymond Green, I've seen increased production from him. Last season, I wasn't too impressed. This season, I think he's re-energized, and Steph Curry is on a tear. I mean, the Suns, they're playing great team basketball, but Golden State is too. What I'm saying is it's really a level playing field. But I think Golden State tips it more towards their favor because they have an ace in the hole waiting, geared up, rested, 2 years rested in Klay Thompson. And from my account, it appears that he's back to his old self. Yes, it's gonna take time, but woo, if he comes back, like you said, even 80%,
Even 80%. Yeah.
it's just going to be remarkable. It's going to
Yeah.
be great for the Warriors.
Yeah. I say that the Suns are a threat because of all the things you mentioned about the Warriors, right? So the Warriors have all of that. But guess what? The Suns are playing just as well. Now, yes, okay, they may have had, it depends on how you look at it, a lighter schedule. But we can all agree that some of these teams that we do not deem to be a concern in general, are winning games,
Mm-hmm.
surprisingly winning games. So it's not like the Warriors or the Suns, especially the Suns, can go into any game thinking that they just got it. They don't. Anytime you got Orlando Magic beaten, anytime you got the Kings winning in triple overtime against the Lakers that everybody believes is supposed to be the best, right? Because LeBron James is on the roster. You cannot sleep on the teams that the NBA world believes are not that good because they are winning games. So anytime you got the Rockets winning, are you serious? You can beat some of our top teams? Yes. So regardless of how we see the team and whether they are in the standings, each time a team plays, and in this case the Suns, although they may have appeared to have a lighter record at the beginning of the season, they still had to work to make sure that they win these games because these other teams are upsetting some of our better teams in one game matchups. So yeah, we'll see how it plays
Mm-hmm.
out. I think the true test will come when the Suns meet the Warriors in their next 5 games when they play them twice. That is going to be for me the true test on whether or not the Warriors should be concerned or the Suns need to change their strategy because they're not going to be able to
Mhm.
beat the Warriors with what they're doing. It all looks good when they're playing separately. But when they start playing together, that matchup for the next, what I think it's they play them twice.
Uh-huh.
It's going to be amazing. So
Oh,
yeah, I agree with you. Another thing that comes to mind is that I know Chris Paul is what is he? The point guard extraordinaire. I cannot wait to see Chris Paul and Draymond Green in a matchup because I believe that Draymond Green is comparable to what Chris Paul is to the Suns. I know he may
hmm.
not be the name point guard, but the way he can make sure that Steph Curry gets the ball is no different than what Chris Paul does to Devin Booker. So
Hmm.
I just don't know. I don't know, but I
Yeah.
think the Suns are a threat.
Yeah. And both teams are pretty good beyond the arc. Now, let's talk quickly about their bench. Okay.
Mhm.
Phoenix Suns bench is nice. Campaign, Landry Shamet, Cam Johnson, and JaVale
JaVale,
McGee.
who the resurgence of JaVale McGee.
Yes. Nice. That was a great pickup. They needed that. I'll give the Phoenix Suns that. That was fantastic. Championship. How many rings does he
Three.
have? Three
He
or
has
four?
three. He has
Yeah.
three.
Yeah. And the Landry Shamet pickup was nice too. But when you talk about Golden State Warriors, I like
Mhm.
what Gary Payton Jr. is doing. He's great on defense. Jordan Poole, Damian Lee, Otto Porter, and my favorite is JTA. Hey, and Wiseman is just gearing up, just ready. I'm telling you,
Okay,
the
well,
Warriors. I know, I know,
it
I know.
remains to be seen about Wiseman. He got to get some more foot in the game for me. I just can't. No pun intended, but he got to get some more foot in the game
Uh-huh.
for me. I can't rest my success on James Wiseman right now. He just hasn't
Yeah, he
given me
hasn't
enough.
proven himself.
No, not at all, not at all.
Only
And
played
I'm
a
not
couple of
saying that he
games in
won't.
college. Yeah.
Yeah, and what against these
Hmm.
grown men that's been playing for years? Stop, stop,
Okay.
stop. But I do agree with you on that. But I think that when you compare the bench, because Jordan Poole will be moved to the bench, that's an added
Yeah. Hmm.
benefit to the bench. The Suns
Yeah.
bench they're not scrubs. So when you got campaign and like you mentioned Cam Johnson, Landry, JaVale
Yeah.
McGee, they
Yeah.
put up nice numbers and they add value to the Suns. One thing I like about the Suns, the thing about the Suns and the Warriors too, they both have great chemistry. Their
Yeah.
teams have great chemistry. You know,
Yeah.
and you can tell that they really enjoy playing with one another, each team
Hmm.
individually. And I think that has a lot to say because we are seeing right now where teams where the chemistry ain't it and it's impacting their play, i.e., Boston. So that chemistry means a lot, right? And then if you think about their defensive rating, okay, right now the Warriors are number 1 in defense in their defensive rating, but guess what? The Suns are like number 3. So
Yeah. Yeah.
then you got an offensive, you got the Warriors up there, but the Suns are right behind them. So yeah,
Right there.
when you got somebody right behind you, they're a threat because all
Hmm.
it takes for you to stump a toe, all it takes for someone to pull a hamstring and they're going to be right up there. You don't want that to happen because I want to see full health, full teams play, right? So we
Yes.
can really identify if one is better than the other.
Here's my caveat. I think the Phoenix Suns are better coached than the Golden State
Mm.
Warriors.
Mm.
I like the flexibility that Monty Williams is showing. I think Steve Kerr, because we saw it the last 2 seasons, he I wouldn't say he doesn't know how to coach, but he's been blessed with awesome talent. Monty Williams has had to kind of put this together and get creative. So I tip my hat to Monty. I think the
Mm.
Suns are way better coach, and Steve Kerr is just kind of winning by default.
And by the assistance of his assistant coaches, I'm quite sure.
Hmm.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'm here for Monty Williams as well. What I like most about Monty Williams, one of the things that Steve Kerr actually has is that he's been coaching the Golden State Warriors for quite some time.
Yeah.
So they're familiar with one another. And to your point, he may just be really sitting on the sideline because Draymond Green is probably the real coach.
Yeah.
He could be, and Steph Curry, and that's fine. But I think that the way the Phoenix Suns players respect, revere Monty Williams is just a little bit different for me. And I
Yeah.
think he
Yeah.
is able to get the best out of those players who are not deemed to be number one. Number one
Yeah.
meaning, that's been in the league for a long time, that's won championships, but he was able to will this team to the finals last season.
Mm-hmm. Oftentimes without CP3, right?
Often, yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that the Suns can potentially upset the Warriors if Monty Williams can continue to coach the way he's coaching. Can. I didn't say will, I said can. And if you watch the game of basketball, anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
Anything. And what we deem, successful today may not be, and the same team we're talking about today may not be the team after All-Star break. It just may not be the same team. I don't think they'll do major changes because I don't think they should. Either one of the Suns nor the Warriors should not make any major changes to their roster unless injuries occur, of course. But I can't wait for these upcoming matchups.
Yeah. And the Christmas Day game should be awesome. Suns and the Warriors on Christmas Day. Everybody watching.
Yeah. So
We gonna find out.
the battle of the number one spot in the West is happening right now. Right now.
Yeah. Okay. So you want to talk about the next 5 games for the Phoenix Suns?
So the next 5 games for the Phoenix Suns, which I saw on the schedule, was Golden State, Detroit, Golden State again, Spurs, and Boston. So I have the Suns splitting the series with Golden State, which means that they will come out of their next 5 games 4-1.
Ooh. Okay. Oh boy, I tell you, I'm thinking 3-2. I think
3-2?
the Suns will sit back against the Spurs, and they'll lose that one and split the series with Golden State.
Why would they want to sit back against the Spurs?
Because it's hard to get up for teams that are not, it's just hard. And that's when you get caught slipping. And I think the Spurs, they're well coached, Popovich, and the Spurs have had some pretty close games. And I think that they'll probably win this one.
Okay. I mean, it ain't gonna no harm, no foul. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's not gonna really matter.
We're talking about they're gonna have a 4-game loss. Like, wait.
Yeah.
Compared to the Spurs and everybody else, aside from Golden State, who cares?
I mean, the Suns are riding a nice winning streak, though. I'd like to see them continue it, but to be honest, it really doesn't matter whether they have home court advantage. It just doesn't matter when the playoffs get there. I mean, it just doesn't matter. I don't think it matters. I don't care if they're number 1, number 2. It just doesn't matter. What matters is what happens between those lines and the 94 feet or whatever it is for the court. That's all that matters.
The Warriors should be concerned. Absolutely. That doesn't mean that the Warriors should be concerned. Yes. I'm a yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. And I don't think the Warriors should be concerned. Maybe slightly, only because they face in the hole in Klay Thompson, and that's it. And that's my reason why. That's my whole basis, is that they have Klay Thompson in their back pocket, and once you unleash him, they're going to be playing even better, and they're already playing great. All right, you guys, we're going to wrap up this episode. Make sure you drop down in the comments and let us know, are the Suns a threat to the Golden State Warriors? Thank you all for watching. We will see you guys on the next one. But until then,
peace.
Peace out.